This is QuickGeek. Here's your tech news, South Africa.
Telkom's to release 40 megabits per second ADSL, or as Jan was referring to it, VHDSL.
VDSL, actually.
VDSL.
Very high bitrate DSL.
But to do this, it's only by 2015, so don't expect any time soon.
Right.
Yeah, Telkom, this comes on the back of Telkom announcing its results, which have been very poor for these last 6 months. And what we've seen is that their fixed lines have dropped off dramatically in the last 6 months, and that the growth for ADSL has slowed. So fixed lines are dropping off, but they're still getting ADSL subscriptions. But the number of new ADSL subscriptions are the lowest they've ever been since September 2005.
I must say there's also quite a nice graph in your guys' on my broadband that Rudolph did, so go look for it, where it actually shows you as they drop the price how there's a sudden influx of people, which I would imagine would actually in the long run make them far more money.
And the article, I believe, is entitled Telkom ADSL Growth Slows or something like that. Just take a look at it. But basically the argument is that for Telkom to encourage uptake of ADSL, they need to drop prices. And as you say, it was a very actually neatly put together graph showing that whenever an interesting product entered the ADSL market or a price cut happened, there was a sudden uptake. So Uncapped is a recent example, but that's now since dropped off with the specials and stuff being launched from mobile service providers. And since the beginning of ADSL, it shows price cuts of the lower speed ones, price cuts of the higher speed ones.
What's the most interesting though, if you can see it, the amount of increase for price cuts of the actual ADSL medium is far more effective at increasing numbers than even the drop in the price of the ADSL internet bandwidth part.
Yes, and the argument might be here that the ADSL internet bandwidth part might not be able to get much cheaper in the short term to get the prices down on the bandwidth part. I mean, they're already pretty low. It's probably the lowest cost portion of your account unless you're a very high bandwidth user.
Yes.
So, I mean, we are paying almost as much, only slightly more for our uncapped accounts as we are for our 4 meg lines.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Yep.
Right. Well, it's Mars launch season, and that means that NASA is launching its latest rover, the successor to Spirit and Opportunity, and that's Curiosity. It's a big one, and it's beautiful, and it's awesome, and it's got some really cool tech associated with it. I recommend you go check out some of the videos. It's extremely cool.
We talked a bit more about it in our full show. You can go check it out there. Also, you can now, if you want to send cash, via Facebook, of course. PayPal and Facebook have joined forces. And you can now send cash via Facebook. I wouldn't do this.
Sounds like a nexus of evil.
And it's going to be interesting to see how this interacts with the PayPal in South Africa, with FNB recently allowing people to link non-FNB accounts to PayPal accounts instead of to go through FNB.
True. But that's more extracting the money actually back into physical cash.
If you're going to send money via PayPal, you need to be able to get it out of into your account. And I know that our foreign exchange rules sort of make things complicated. You have to get it out within 30 days. You can't, if you've got a non-FNB bank account, you can't make payments with PayPal. It's all very complicated. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, so another interesting thing is Dr. Zen, which comes from his first name.
Such an evil overlord name.
Evil scientist is asking for money on Rocket Hub. Go give it to him immediately. Yes. You must. He wants to plan an expedition, and go watch the video. It's really funny, very Indiana Jonesy. And he wants to launch an expedition to the great exotic outback of Florida. So
all places.
not that exciting, but what Florida does have is a population of very interesting crayfish who reproduce by cloning themselves. It's an all-female
anybody that can make
crayfish.
a video about crayfish that's interesting and makes you want to give them money.
Yes, exactly. So go watch this video. It's very interesting. I don't want to explain all the stuff because I'm bound to get it wrong. So go check it out.
Awesome.
Cool. Into our main topic for this very quick geek. Basically, how to get Google Music in South Africa.
Now, to be clear, this is only to be able to upload to Google Music your own music and to be able to stream it down again to your device. Right. Unfortunately, you still have to have an American credit card if you want to purchase music on Google Music.
Right. Do they yet have something vouchers or anything like that?
No, nothing like vouchers. Okay. And I'm not sure if they're going to go the voucher route. I mean, Apple have a chain of stores and stuff, so it's going to be interesting to see what Google does.
Well, it goes through Google Checkout, which is now part of Google Wallet. I imagine Google Wallet will probably
they've actually amalgamated the two. It's actually now Google Checkout is now Google Wallet.
And Google Wallet is obviously also only available in the US at the moment.
They did mention that they're going to be expanding the Google Wallet suite of products. I imagine we'll probably see something like vouchers emerging at some point in the future.
I hope so, because then it's a very easy workaround. You can do exactly exactly what you do with iTunes.
Go to eBay.
Except that except that now you need to, and there's an extra step. iTunes is very easy. You just lie to Apple. You tell them I'm in the United States.
Okay.
For Google Music, you have to actually trick Google into believing that you're from the United States by hiding behind a United States IP address. You can do that with a proxy server. You can do that with a VPN. Or my preferred method was using Tor. And so Tor is a project famous for allowing people easy privacy online. And so you just go to torproject.org, download Tor, launch Tor. It'll bring up the browser, navigate to Google Music, click accept, done.
Cool.
That should work. If it doesn't work on my broadband, I've posted a chunk of code that you can copy paste into your Tor settings file. And I've explained to you how to get to that Tor settings file. And that will mean that you only connect to US nodes. So if you have an American credit card or debit card, which is not impossible to find, you can buy music as well using this method. And then you connect to Google Music through an American node. Hey presto. And then once that's done, you never ever have to go behind through that again. You can upload without a VPN, without a proxy.
Oh, so just once you register, you can upload.
Yeah. You can upload and everything works.
I've got a friend who's actually been uploading via VPN, where he says you can also then listen to all that music anywhere you are.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
And then the only then from there, and this is something that's been lacking in other tutorials, is how to get the Google Music APK onto your Android device. Yeah. So that's the next step. If you want to use Google Music, you need to get it on your Android device. Yeah. And I've got a link there to Android Police. But you can just
if you've rooted your device, there was a nice I just can't remember where you could fake which country you were in and stuff like that.
But you do need to have root on your device. Yeah. So if you don't have root on your device, you can just sideload the Google Music APK.
Or just use the VPN.
Indeed.
One of the other things to look at is strong VPN. I know I've used this quite a bit whenever I want to pretend to be coming from America. That you can also do to the UK. And you can also use that to watch Netflix if you want to.
Nice.
And you give a 1 month trial of Netflix. And it's really cool. It streams beautifully, works beautifully on iPads, PCs, everything. Nice. So also give it a spin.
Cool.
Excellent.
Right. That's it for Quick Geek. Remember to catch our other shows. Let's Talk Geek. We've got a full hour show if you want to take a look. Owen's from, I don't want to get it wrong.
Consilience, an African Science podcast.
Yep.
So can they get that?
At consilience.wordpress.com.
And you can get to the full show at ltg.letstalknetwork.tv. Thank you for listening.